Today we are going to tackle setting up an actual nursery for my youngest baby. So come along with us as I clean and decorate. So if you watch one of my most recent videos, you'll probably recognize this room. We decided to change all 4 of the kids' bedrooms, so my older girls are going to start sharing a room, and the babies were split up. I'll talk about that a little bit more later in the video, but basically we're trying to give her her own space so that if we do decide to sleep train in the future, we have the option of putting her down and not having to worry about her being interrupted by Jameson. Since she's the smallest, this is the room that she got, and I'm doing a really deep clean, mopping out the closet, cleaning off all the shelves, and I love this. It's my O-Cedar spin mop, and I love it. It's so great. You can actually, here in a minute, you'll see me cleaning up the baseboards with it. And on the side of the wall, I use a little bit of Pine Sol, some warm water, and this spin mop, and it gets just about everything up that I can think of or need to remove. So if you don't have one, you should check them out. They're really great. But anyway, so we moved the changing table in here. The crib's going to be in here. And then I'm also moving all of her larger baby toys in here because we don't have space for them out in the living room. And then this closet is going to be used as toy storage, and Jameson's closet is going to be the place where all of their clothes stay together. So it actually works out because in their old room, their closet was the biggest, and so the girls are going to share a closet now, and they share a lot of their clothes, so it kind of just works out well. the storage containers in here being gray, but it's what I have. We're not in a position to buy new pieces for this room, so I'm just having to use stuff that I already had to decorate and use as storage. She's not going to sleep in here for a very long time probably, because I'm just not ready. And she's my last baby, so we'll see how that goes. But if I have the storage containers in the linen closet that are white, I may switch them out because I'm going to get rid of some stuff that's in there. And so then they'll be white, and that would be what I would desire. But her crib is going to go here once we can get it put together. Her crib is the same crib that her brother used. It's very masculine, but I have very feminine sheets to go on it. This is a table that we bought for Jamie off of Facebook Marketplace. Again, would love to paint it white. Don't have the funds, don't have the time right now. That may change in the near future, but that's just where we're at. So cleared out this entire closet. This was, as you saw in a recent video of Felicity's closet, we cleared it out. Now I'm using it for toy storage. Her clothes are going to stay in Jamie's closet, which used to be just this room. So that's where we're at. Just in the linen closet, and I do have white containers. So I'm going to switch those real quick. As you can see, Jameson wanted to help me sort the toys, which is always fun because then you're trying to clean and they're pulling everything back out again. But this is life with a preschooler. inside the closet ended up looking, we have toy storage in here. And then her diapers are at the bottom. That gray tote is completely empty, so I have to figure out what I want to do with that. All right, so this is the finished product. Right now, I'm looking for something to go in that corner right there. I haven't pulled down the decor that I have, but I'm probably gonna be able to find something to fit there. I decided to just leave this print in here because we already have nails in the wall, and I didn't want to move it, and it goes kind of with the theme in here. This blanket and the stuffed animals obviously don't stay in there when she sleeps in here, but part of the reason we are putting her in her own room is because we may sleep train, and if we do that, I need to be able to put her somewhere that is not where Jameson is. So back here behind this door is a dirty clothes bin. I would love to get something different, but right now this is what we have, so this is what we're using. And then this is what the change table ended up looking like. So I was able to get all white bins, and so this one has muslin blankets and some other little blankets in it. This has her sleepers for at night, infant toys, crib sheets, wipes, diapers, and then all the stuff that we need to do diaper changes. She's in here with me making some fun noises. So this is the storage for her larger toys because our living area isn't that big, so I don't have space to just have them sitting out. I would love to have them sitting out, but I don't have the space for it. So we just get them out when we need them. And her playmat, the reason that it's not put together is because if I leave it on the floor, the dogs will lay on it. Maddie's crate is staying in here because the girls' room, there's not room for her crate in there right now. If we get bunk beds eventually, then we'll probably put it back in there. And then these are the little shelves. These were in here when it was Felicity's room, and so I just took the decor that I had put on her gold shelves and fit what I could on these two shelves. And then I got these curtains off of Amazon. I'll try and remember to link them, but they're really great because they look really great, and they actually black out really well. So I'll turn the lights off. So that's with the blinds open, but you can still see they block out a lot of the light. And then so here's what it looks like with the blinds closed. In here, it's still quite a bit of light coming in. It shows up brighter on camera than it does in here. It's actually pretty dark. My camera is like making up for the low light setting because it's a lot darker in here than what my camera is showing. But like I said, I'll try and remember to link these below. I have, Felicity had a set of these that was green. These are like a velvet material. So Felicity had some green version of these curtains, which is how I knew that they would black out really well. And those are now in Jameson's room because he has a John Deere theme, and the curtain rods are really high. They're too tall for the curtains that he had in his old room because he had a smaller window. I wish that the people who owned this house before us had put the curtain rods wider than the windows. So when you're hanging curtain rods, it's better to hang them a little bit wider than the windows, so that when you open the curtains, you can open them all the way past the windows and get the full light. They didn't do that, and I don't want to put more holes in the wall, so we're just kind of dealing with it as it is, because I always have to think about us moving and having to sell the house, and when we sell the house, I don't want there to be a ton of holes, because we know we're going to have to do it at some point. So like I said, I will try and link those below. I'm sorry you're hearing the baby swing in the background. She's living her best life. But yeah, that's going to conclude today's video. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see everybody else's rooms, let me know. Still working on the girls' room a little bit, trying to hammer out the details. I probably won't do a video about their room until after, if or when we get bunk beds for them. Then I'll probably do something then. But I can show you guys Jameson's room if you are interested, and we will see you in the next video.